today's craft project is we're going to make some boxes using the Sizzix machine. This is the Big Shot Plus. I also have Big Shot here, which I proudly brought off a car boot. I will also be using the Grace Taylor Forest Friends paper pad because it does have the heart design one, which is the one I'm going to use here to make the box. These are tools to help with more intricate patterns for the die cuts. I've got my paper cutter here because the sheets out the pad need to be slightly cut down so it goes through the Sizzix. And then I also have my folder here that has all my die cuts in, which I have actually shared before, and how I organise them. The one I'm actually going to use is this one, and this is the die cut for making the box. As I said before, if you haven't got the die cut, you can always use some other box. You can dismantle it so you've got the pattern to make your box, which is what I did before I had my Sizzix machine. So that is the one we're going to use. I am actually in a lounge at the moment because using the Sizzix machine does take a little bit more room, and I don't have the room actually in my cubby to comfortably use the Sizzix machine. So I've got my mat down on my carpet in the lounge. Now this is actually the mat that we use on the dining room table, but I use it a lot also for crafting in the lounge, just to protect the carpet. And I'm also maybe using this one, which is what I got from the Works in one of my last hauls. So I might be using that in you know, decorating the box. Again, as I said, except for the paper that I'm chosen, I'm just winging it, and we'll see how it goes. Right, so this is the pad I'm going to use, and I got this from an online craft store, and when I was sorting through, because I need the larger sheets of paper, the only one I really could find that got hearts on was this one, which is large enough to use with the die cut. And it's just showing you obviously the size. So I'm going to trim down my paper first of all so it will go through the Sizzix. So basically that is the size I'm going to want it. So I'm just going to trim it down just so it's just actually covering the die cut. Making sure that actually goes through fine now. So this forward. It may make a large click, don't worry about that. It's because obviously this is what happens when you constantly use it. So I've got my bottom board there. I then put my cutter with the groove up, papers on top. I mean, everybody does it slightly different. And then I put the top one on. So as I say, don't worry about the clicking, it's just the plastic. As I said, after a while it does actually click. That off, remove the sheet, and there we have the box ready to be folded with all the grooves. So, these make, you know, quite nice to fill for sweets or a little favour for a party. I never actually get rid of the scraps because they can be used, and I can even make a little tag to go with it. So I shall put this one away, and then I will get on to the next piece. So I've just on my folder got the small tag die cut, and I'm going to put it on my baseboard, and then I'm using an offcut of the paper. I'm going to use my smaller one. Make sure that goes, but always keep your fingers obviously away from this because it can obviously catch your fingers if you're not careful. And there we have the little tag. So that will go then with the box. As I said, I like to get the die cuts put away on the magnetic sheet, so they can easily get lost if you don't put your bits and pieces away. Just make sure that's away. So I can use one of these sentiments with the arrows. So we've got a love, we've got hello, we've got dream, and we've got thank you. So I'm going to use the love one. Take that one out, and we just get it set back up for the love. Right, so I've got my love die cut with the arrow, got my paper, got my top board, just ease that in and then hold it on the top so it goes through. Actually, that's come away really clear. So there we have the love cut out. So we have got our box, our tag, and the love there. So I'll just put that back in this packet, and then we can fold and assemble the box. Right, I'm back in my cubby now to do the final bit of assembling the box. So following all the grooves from the die cut, you just fold all the bits and pieces just to make sure you've got a good crease, and then you can start assembling the box. So there we have the box all ready to be filled. So what I'm going to use is some tissue paper. It's been shredded, that I actually got with some mail from a fellow YouTuber. So I'm just going to wet that up a little bit, and then we're going to add some chocolates in there. So, and then we can decorate it. I haven't actually got a heart punch, but a friend of mine from the community centre allowed me to use the stamp while I was there, because I wanted plenty of these so I can make a embellishment for the top of my box, and she kindly allowed me to do that. She says not a problem. So just grab a few. I have done something very similar with the pumpkins, but we're going to make a heart. So what you need to do is, obviously, after punching a lot of these out, I was going to do it freehand and just have a template and then keep cutting them out, but when I mentioned it to her, she says, oh, you know, you can use the heart stamp punch, so it's helped. So what you're going to do is just fold these evenly over, and then we are going to concertina these up to make a heart for the top of the box. So I'm trying to be very selective. I keep saying this, what I bring into our home. I have brought a few gifts in, but I don't really count that at the moment because they are from my gift stash and they're not remaining in the house. But sometimes if I want a particular book or DVD or jigsaw, as I've mentioned to somebody else, or like I know this colleague of mine, she has a lot of craft pieces. I will say to her, say, have you got such and such, and as long as I let her know, I can meet her at the community centre, and I can borrow bits and pieces from her, especially if it's something I'm not sure that I'm going to be using. I have thought about it, and I think the more I think about it, as I said, it's something I think I'm going to put on my wish list, is a heart stamp this size. So I've got all my hearts, so I'm going to use the glue stick, and basically what you're going to do is you're going to make it like a concertina. So you can put your glue down and then you're just going to build it up, and then you put the next one on, trying to keep it as neat as possible. yeah, as I was saying, I see if I can buy. I mean, she has kindly said that I could take the bits and pieces home, but I don't like to do that. So I can use them when I go to the community centre and experiment. Proper glue there. But she is the one that showed me about the embossing gun, and that was on my wish list, and that's what I bought with some birthday money, which is something else I will be showing hopefully later on in the week. As I say, I see all these nice crafty pieces, but it's knowing how much you're going to use something. And I must admit, I've used a heart stamp quite a bit since last year, so I think it's going to be the next thing that I'm actually going to be investing in. It's nothing like, I really like to research things. It's like my Sizzix Big Shot Plus. I looked into it admittedly when I was going to get the Sizzix, that I was going to get the model under it, but hubby talked to me. Well, he was buying it actually for me. He did actually say to get the larger one, and had everything to get started, including papers, die cuts and everything like that. So he was the one that said I might as well go slightly more expensive and bigger and have everything included, which I'm actually thankful for now. But like I said, I don't really want to start buying too much stuff and not get the use out of it. I have to justify the spend. I don't want it just sitting around not doing anything. Right, so there we have the heart, and then when I come to put it on my box, you see, I can stick it down like so. So while I was having a little think, I've sorted out my tag, and I have actually put a little bit of white ribbon, and I had 3 little mini keys that I got from Amazon left. I don't know if you can see those, so I've included those. And I think it's kind of sweet because it has got like the heart and arrow on, and I thought the keys would go really nice with it. So that's going to go on there, and I think what I'm going to do is then I'm going to put that so it's just hanging down a little bit like so. And then I still want to use my love sign, which I will probably put in at the side like that. So first of all, I need to put my little tag on, which I will use, I think some of these little sticky pads. I just want to secure that down, the little keys, and then this is going to go on top. So get some more, I think the larger, sorry for the rustle, I think I use 2 of these size pads because I want to make sure it is secure. I'll put 1 there. And 1 there. So there we have the heart. Just tuck that underneath. And then I would like to sort of use that, just put a little bit, I think, so it's at an angle, and I want to put it so it just sort of lies on my heart. So I'll just use the back of that for a minute, put some glue on. Just stick over like so. So there is the little Valentine box with the heart and little keys and everything. And then using something very similar, I made a couple of cards, which I will show you now. The first one is this one. Now, if this was going in an envelope, which it will be, I will put a little bit of double-sided tape on there and leave the cover on, and then you just peel it off, so then it will stick over like that, and the same as the little one. And then I've just got Because You're Awesome. And then the same colleague I said about the stamp, she's actually got the edging one, so I was able to use that on the card. And I've just put some silver hearts on like that, and Because You're Awesome. And the other one, very similar again, and very simple. Using this technique again, wooden love sign there. And I just mimicked it, the edging, on a bit of red paper, just bring a bit more red in. So there is the 2 cards, and there's a Valentine's little goodie box. Hope you've enjoyed this craft. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.